I want to talk about this upcoming Walmart strike that has been in the news, and I want to talk about media bias. We're about to do a really good case study here on media bias. Now, the backstory is that large groups of labor and community workers are preparing to hold a huge Black Friday protest at a lot of Walmart locations across, really across the country, okay? And this includes here in Massachusetts, actually, Lewis, interestingly enough, involved with Jobs with Justice, which is a group that's in the area. And workers began taking action at warehouses and retail stores last month, speaking out against low wages, speaking out against what they call unsafe working conditions and Walmart's attempts to, quote, slice workers' voices on the jobs when it comes to being able to organize a union or go against these conditions. And strikes have reportedly already taken place in California, Washington, and Texas so far. So let's get to the media bias analysis. I think you're going to like this. Walmart spokesman David Tovar has been doing the media rounds, okay? I don't know if I'm right about this, but my sense is that at Walmart headquarters in Arkansas, they actually have a satellite set up and they're able to basically patch in David Tovar into any of the news networks the same way, you know, like when I'm on current TV, I go to a news station. Walmart's got that all set up. Certainly they can afford it. So David Tovar, their spokesman, starts doing different media appearances. So the first media appearance I'm going to play for you is on CNN. David Tovar was interviewed by Carol Costello. I'm no big fan of Carol Costello. I think she's just kind of a mediocre news person. However, she brought up good questions about, can we address the Walmart poverty level wages? In other words, that people are making $15,000 a year. They are considered, quote, full-time, but they're just not making enough money to live on. This interview bit is being called biased by the right, indicating that she is having anti-big corporation bias by asking these questions, and that Carol Costello is evidence that CNN is just a left-wing media outlet. Let's take a listen. We'll analyze.
Ability to make sure its employees can support a strong middle-class lifestyle?
I mean, we're working hard every day to provide more opportunities for associates. I mean, go back to some of the things I said to you earlier about, you know, how people advance within our company.
If a lot of making $15,000 a year, you can't live a strong middle-class lifestyle on that. You just can't.
Right, but our jobs are, like I said, are some of the best jobs in the retail industry. I would challenge the numbers that you gave about $15,000.
Well, what's an average salary for a Walmart employee then?
Our average wage is about $12.40 an hour for a full-time associate. We also offer comprehensive benefits packages as low as $17 a pay period, which is very affordable. We also pay quarterly bonuses, which is something that not a lot of retailers do. And just this past quarter, 82% of eligible associates received a bonus. And we know that they appreciate that. They also get a 10% discount card. So you have to
Okay, so let's analyze this. That is being called, by the right, ambush journalism, all sorts of stuff. Now, what do I see there? I see the tiniest bit of resistance from Carol Costello in asking a real question, and then I see David Tovar unchallenged citing this statistic that the average full-timer makes $12.40 an hour, not mentioning, wait a second, that's counting executive salaries averaged out into that. The average actual store person, and taking into consideration that the store manager makes a lot of money. A lot of Walmart store managers make a lot of money. Six figures. If you average that in, yes, you get $12.40, but it's not realistic. The mean is not representative of the median in this case.
Right. And on
nor
top
of the mode.
On top of that, he's talking about these bonuses that are handed out. Well, those bonuses go to the store managers only, who are already making tons of money.
Employees do get some bonuses, but it's fractional. It's fractional, exactly.
The store managers can get massive bonuses based on how well their stores do in a given month or quarter.
So that is being called by the right liberal media bias. Let me play for you David Tovar, same spokesman, being interviewed on Fox News by Stuart Varney, known anti-union crusader Stuart Varney, and pay attention specifically to the questions that Stuart Varney asks. And you tell me what's biased. Let's take a listen, Lewis.
Walmart's rolling back the prices and it's rolling up its sleeves in a major fight against the unions. On Black Friday, unions are planning to help Walmart workers stage a massive walkout, complete with flash mobs and justice-themed caroling. But Walmart is fighting back by filing a complaint against one of the biggest unions. David Tovar is Walmart's Vice President of Communications. David, you've taken on the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, I believe. You filed this complaint against them. Is that enough to stop any walkout the day after Thanksgiving? Our viewers, maybe some Walmart shoppers, they want to know, are they going to hit these roadblocks?
Okay, so there's question number one. What about the shoppers? Will they be able to shop? Let's move ahead, Louis, to some of the next questions that he asked. Let me see if I can find. Here we go.
Doing your best for
These are on Black Friday, and we think it's going to be an awesome day at Walmart this year.
I mean, David, I got it. I know you're out there doing your best for Walmart, but look, can you stop these protests? Will this complaint, this labor...
Again, listen, I know you're talking about what's best for Walmart, but can you stop these evil protests, which I'm not even going to tell my audience why they're protesting. That's completely missing from the discussion. And I'm going to keep serving up questions to you about how can we stop the protesters. This is
How do we fight unions?
How can we fight unions? Now, let me give you the list of questions that he followed up with. He asked whether can Walmart sue the workers' union? That's a hard-hitting question from Stuart Varney. What can Walmart do? Can you sue the unions because the workers are striking? And then going on and saying, if your workers walk off the job, will you fire them? What a great, balanced, supportive question, given what's going on here and all of the allegations against Walmart. Brilliant question. And then, would you agree that you're in for a tough 4 years because this administration, aka Obama, is no friend to Walmart? Ladies and gentlemen, this is garbage. This is a garbage interview. Stuart Varney's allowed to go out there and do this. Let me tee him up for you, David Tovar. And that apparently is journalism. And Carol Costello says, well, if someone makes 15 grand full time, they're not really living. That's too far, guys. That's liberal bias.
Right. Why are you automatically targeted by either side for asking tough questions? I mean, don't we want tough questions asked?
Exactly.
Isn't that good journalism?
And the Stuart Varney questions just weren't tough. They just weren't tough. That's
I mean, even Carol Costello, she didn't really follow up with the same things we said.
That's the thing.
Had she done that,
even Carol Costello was basically crumbling under talking points from Walmart, and she
totally crumbled under talking points.
The skewed nature of this, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to fix what's going on.